from the depths of my soul, feeling the loss of control and in the spirit, so colorful. If you feel it, then let's go to a place where you belong. Give you strength to carry on. Open your heart, set your mind at ease. Live your life and you'll be free. We're gonna rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising,
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review for, basically just the latest news show. It's very quiet on the Western Front, apart from obviously with what's going on with Sandro Tonali at the minute, but we'll speak a little bit about him today as well, now that he's back. Obviously, a report regarding Bruno and this crazy thing about Barcelona. It's not going away, is it, Billy?
No, but this kind of cheaper to Barcelona kind of deal's been quite rightly laughed out of court, hasn't it, really? As if we're going to sell him cheaper to someone else. Absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. The player's worth a certain price, and no matter who you are, you have to pay that. I think £100 million, if that is the figure, is a bit on the low side. If I'm perfectly honest, I think it should be another quarter of £100 million on top of that, 125 for me. Minimum.
And of course, that report stated about Bruno wanting to leave for 60-70 million. That had to be in his clause. Bull rot. But we'll come on to all that sort of stuff. Usual applies tonight, guys. If you do enjoy the show, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Very, very important to the channel, of course. And the awards, they're coming close, guys. We need those votes. The link isn't there at the minute, but it will be at the end of the show. So if you can just get in there and vote for us. I think voting ends this Sunday, I believe. It's this weekend. But I will have a double check on that and give you a date tomorrow for that. We are doing the watch along for the England game tomorrow. As it's Italy, it should be quite a good game, actually. So we will be doing the watch along for that. If you do want to donate to the channel, as some of you gracious people always do, you can hit the $sign at the bottom of the live comments. Make a super chat and you will get your comment read out straight away. And also, please do subscribe if you are new to the channel. We are heading in the right direction with subscriptions, guys. So it's very important that anyone new, please come and join us on this wonderful community on the Toon Review. And of course, hit the notification bell, which will tell you when we have scheduled any shows or we go live. And also, we have membership and some good stuff for members prizes, etc. Do hit that join button underneath and become a member of the Toon Review. Now, we do have some giveaways tonight, Billy Bob. We've got 2 members draws and 1 viewers draw. Okay, so for the members, this is the first one. Sir Bobby Robson. This is framed, ready to be put on the wall. It's got all the gadgets there. These are all framed, actually. There's also one for our viewers draw, so anyone can go in for that one. And another members one is the legend himself, Mr. Alan Shearer. So we have all those to give away tonight. 2 members draws, 1 for the viewers. They will be coming up a little bit later on. Billy, are you seeing the same as me? Stato's there, but he's not there?
Yeah, odd, isn't it? I'll give him a message.
He's there. He's waving 2 minutes. He's obviously sorting all that beef out that he's just bought. Ulfa says, hello from the Icelandic Geordie. I was recently traveling in Munich. Great pretzels. how many Toon fans are going to do a pretzel plus beer in Dortmund? I have a feeling there'll be a few, to be honest, Ulfa. If you want us to chat about anything tonight as well, mention it in the chat, guys, and we'll try and get to as many as we can. This Sandro Tonali thing, Billy, it's not going away. Now, there's been various different reports saying that it wasn't football related. Then some people are saying it actually is football related. Where do you stand with this at the minute after the weekend and the stories that have come through?
I think if it is football related, I think we've got a right to be worried about it. If it's not, I don't think we do. However, no one knows anything, do they? Again, it's all in the dark until the club say something, like it in transfers, like it in purchases. I don't think we can really pay any attention to what's being spouted on social media. But if it's football related, then I think we need to be worried about it, because we've seen the kind of punishments dished out to players that are doing this kind of thing. And Sandro Tonali will be no different, I wouldn't have thought. Yeah.
Well, it's proper up in the air, because obviously he's been back today. He's training with the lads. But again, Newcastle haven't said anything. They've kept their mouth shut. Is that wise, Billy? Are they just waiting to make a statement once they get all the facts? Because obviously we're hearing very different stories from Italy coming out left, right, and centre, but nothing from the football club itself.
No, I mean, maybe they're not totally in to know about it themselves, you know.
Yeah.
Seriously, until they've made some kind of statement, or we see some kind of movement in whether he's not playing or in the squad on Saturday or whatever, then again, I just think it's not worth worrying about until we find out whether it is or not. Yeah. But as I say, if it's online poker and stuff like that, I wouldn't worry. However, that is a serious thing for someone to be addicted to. Obviously, it's a terrible thing, gambling, if you've got a gambling addiction. But as far as career goes, I don't think that would affect that. But football, yes, I think it would.
Yeah. Okay. Stato was about to join us. It's just sorting out his green screen. Jimmy Barr's been a member for 3 months. Thank you very much for your support, Jimmy. Good day, lads. Hope you're well. Can't wait for Toon football to be back. Spewing the Socceroos didn't finish off what were some good chances against England. It was a terrible game. It was. I mean, I only watched the second half, but dear God, I mean, wow. But Livramento in the starting lineup tonight for the under-21s, which is good. Good evening, Mr. Stato.
No, Stato.
Good evening. How are we doing?
Been putting all that beef away.
I have indeed, yeah.
Yes.
Been very busy.
Indeed. Ian says, is anyone else enjoying the break in football? I'm exhausted. How do the players manage? I hate international breaks. I really do. And the fact that there's another one coming up in November, it's seriously a pain in the arse. We'll just get going back into the league, back into the Champions League, the Cup, and then boom, once again, it'll be international break. And it really is annoying. I don't know what you guys think, but I suddenly hate them.
I mean, you've got to understand, a few people have spoken about this. I've been consuming a little bit of different football content over the weekend. Obviously, we've had the international break. A lot of YouTube channels. I don't know if anybody watches Football Daily. I've gone off them a bit in the last couple of years. They've sold out a wee bit, but better. They did a little section on us. By God, was it complimentary. Jeez, a lot of neutrals are suddenly realising we've had the hardest start of the season. And we're putting up metrics just as good as Liverpool and Man City at the top end of the league, or Arsenal and Man City. And we are not to be slept on, and we are dangerous. So they're figuring it out that we're not just here to take part. We are trying to win. We are trying to be competitive at the top end of the league. A few of them going a little bit overboard, thinking that we might be able to suddenly mount a title challenge, which I think is monumentally complimentary. However, they did point to our intensity and the way we play. That people, when we play that way, we're pretty much unbeatable, because we are pretty much what Liverpool were in that first run to the final in the Champions League. We are just overrunning people. They cannot handle it. When we're in that mood, people can't handle it. Doesn't matter what level they are. However, the point was made, can we sustain that for an entire season? This is where international breaks might actually help us in the long run.
Well, Yes, certainly club-wise, but for us fans, it's a little
Yeah,
bit.
but players
it's a
like
little-
Anthony Gordon and stuff, this has been a godsend for him because he's played way more minutes than he was probably scheduled to. This little chunk of the season, he's had a suspended game and then a break. Probably really good for him, to be fair.
Yeah,
especially with the tight sort of December schedule. It's going to be awful this year, so it's we need him.
Indeed. Stiff Gator says the club talking now only benefits the journalists. It doesn't help the club or Tonali at all. Potentially only makes things worse. No upside to it until facts are established. Just before you came on there, Alex, we were talking about the various different stories that are coming out regarding Tonali now. Some are saying it was football related, some are saying it aren't. If it, like Billy says, if it is football related, then it is slightly more worrying than if it isn't.
Potentially. However, I don't trust any of the Italian sources based on, again, we're not professionals. We just do YouTube, but having been doing sort of researching transfer shows and things like this for a few years with you guys now, I have come to have a huge sort of massive skepticism for anything that comes out of the Italian press, football related. I think it's originally I went in with a mindset of maybe it was the French media, but no, I think there's been some interesting stuff come out of the French media. I think it's the Italian media. The Gazzetta dello Sport specifically is awful. So sorry if there's any Italians going to come for us, but it's shocking. I don't trust a word, not a word, especially the club's been so quiet on it. I don't think anybody knows anything about anything. And I think just, it's going back to all the in the know stuff. Nowadays, it's not hard. You can just go and befriend on Instagram, Snapchat, all of these social media platforms. You go and befriend all of their personal friends, their wives, girlfriends, parents. You go and check who all of their agents are, and you go and follow them everywhere. This is how people get information. It's not that they're some super people and they've got the curve on everyone. They just do that. Or maybe they have a friend within the club, whether it's a physio or somebody. It does happen. But again, that's why the information's so inconsistent, because you don't get Dan Ashworth telling the physio about certain things. You might get certain movements of players coming in and out of a club, but it's just all clutching at straws. It really is.
Lee Tofts has just made a good thing, saying that the FA have cleared Tonali to play, Billy. So at the weekend. So for me, if the FA have actually cleared him to play, then just may be that this whole thing might just sort of blow over.
Well, even Tony played for months before he was banned, wasn't he? So I wouldn't read too much into that.
Yeah,
he's got to have a hearing and stuff first, and just, they can't just do it flick of a finger. It's got to be looked into and proper disciplinary hearing and things like that. So I won't pay any heed into that, to be honest. But again, we don't know, do we? We're in the dark.
Indeed. Barry the Beast says, I see Amanda Staveley went in the training ground today. Probably going to see Tonali. Well, to be honest, she's at the training ground quite a lot. So is well, they all are. Our husband's there as well. They are regular visitors to the training ground. My dad is there quite often, actually. Pedro says, I think because it happened whilst he wasn't with us, we shouldn't get the punishment. It should be enforced in Italy. If he goes back to Italy, if he does get banned, we should get compensation. Yeah, all bridges that we have to cross when we find out exactly what is going on. Toon Dave, thank you for your £5 super chat. Says, even in all, seems like ages since I've caught a live show. I hope you're all well and can't wait until the league is back. I'm bored with all these international breaks.
When you say that, we've just equalised against the Ukraine 2-2.
Yeah, after being 2-0 down, yeah. Mark says, if this was going on when he was at Milan, they must have known. So they must be held accountable as well. It's probably why they sold him. I mean, Billy, you said that the other day that, just maybe that Milan did know what was going on and sort of let him go.
Potentially, if you've got an asset that's worth a lot more than 55 million, but you need to get him out the door pretty quick. In case of potential hearings, you just don't know, do you?
Yeah, you wouldn't put it past the Italian football sides, given their history. Imran Khan has joined us. I wonder, is that the real Imran Khan, the great Pakistan cricketer? We have been linked with Emil Smith Rowe. Is this true, guys? It is. We covered him on, was it Sunday night we did that? No, Thursday night. God,
Thursday
I can't
night,
remember
yeah.
the last time.
Night.
Thursday
Go
night.
and look at recent live shows. We did a transfer show.
We did. Nathan's asking about Jimmy. Haven't seen him around for. He was on the Face of the Lads the other Friday, so he is fine. Don't you worry about Jimmy. He is doing very well. Let's have a look. Stiff's having withdrawal symptoms from Toon games. Tonali is under the Magpie wing. Yeah, he is, and I'm sure that he's getting. You know, since he's probably been back, he'll have spoke to the owners and things like that. So, John says it's worrying that the club has said nothing. I don't think it is, John, because you know if the club say something, then you know maybe as Billy says they don't know all the details because the club clearly, well, I'm saying clearly didn't know anything was going on, but this might have just come on them, the same as it's come on everybody, just out of nowhere, Billy.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's something you make someone aware of. If you sell it, if you're selling an asset, and the asset needs to get out, I'm not sure it's something you make people aware of that. It's very cloak and dagger as business is it at times, isn't it? So, until we know everything, until the Italian FA release statements about what has been looked into for and what have you, then again we just don't worry about it. You don't worry about something that potentially isn't going to happen. I wouldn't have thought.
Well, I think come Saturday, I've no doubt in my mind that the fans will get right behind him, Alex, and be shouting his name.
Yeah, I mean, in this sort of situation, he's not even been charged. So, you know, exactly. and at this rate, it's. I mean, I really don't care about it. I think you plaster all this betting stuff all over the shirts and everywhere, and it's constantly down people's throats. It's adverts everywhere. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. Honestly, it's not. As long as he's not bet on something that he's been involved in specifically, then that changes things. However, if it's more of the generic, you know, there are claims of blackjack and random things like that. If it is, I couldn't care less. I think it's ridiculous. I think they're all hypocrites. They're in it for money, the media. And obviously a lot of the sponsorships and all of this. You can't sponsor everything and then have a go at the players. Yeah. You know, it's just ridiculous. You know, they've got a betting sponsor on one sleeve and then, you know, call here for betting support on the other. It's like, it's just a joke. I feel sorry for these young guys. And again, I know I will always defend them, always. And a lot of people are against me with that. And they say they get paid enough money. They should just be able to handle everything. And I don't agree with that. I think they're humans. They're young guys. They need guidance. A lot of them have come into money very early and they need to try and understand how to be a role model, how to be a professional athlete, how to be a club ambassador, how to handle fame, drugs, alcohol, and avoid that, how to also handle with this betting stuff. There's so much that goes into it. And then the international stuff and then the relationships within the dressing room and, you know, protecting their family. And there's so much that goes into it that we just aren't aware of. And yes, boo-hoo, I know they get a lot of money, but they still have to navigate that and do it well. And that needs to be understood as well.
I mean, to be fair, I look back to when I was sort of 20, 21, 22. And, you know,
I mean, I knew nothing when I was that age.
Nah,
so,
I mean, you got money, you wanted to spend it, you wanted to do everything. You know what I mean? It was that kind of thing. I remember going from one job to another. Yeah, where my wage went through the roof and it was like, what do I do with this money? And people were saying, oh, you should put it in savings and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, very rarely do you get a child who goes, oh, yeah, I'll put, you know, 50% of my wages in a savings account. It just didn't happen. You went out and partied and enjoyed your life. You bought a nice car or whatever it may be. So you can understand, you know, that although these guys are professional footballers, they are still, you know, young men. And you know, it doesn't matter what job you do. So
we were family friends with Francis Jeffers, and people remember what happened to him. You know, he got a bit carried away at Arsenal, and it happens.
Yeah. Milo says the Italian press do love a lie. Well, we've seen that over the years. Well, Botman, Billy, there's a straightforward one. You know, the Italian media tried to scupper that deal for Newcastle by saying that Botman was talking to XYZ all the time and he was coming to Milan.
Well, yeah, they took it like on a personal affrontation that he'd come to us instead of them. And since then, they've been kind of on our warpath, haven't they? And especially with the 0-0 draw with Milan the other week, where we kind of camped up and stopped, went into a low block. You know, they've been on our case ever since then. So every player that's available now that they think should be playing in Serie A for one of the big Serie A teams and doesn't go there and comes to Newcastle, they take it as a personal spite against them, which is fantastic. This is why I think they're making such a meal of this, if I'm perfectly honest.
Nathan says, surely being under investigation would have been declared upon signing for Newcastle United. Opens up a monstrous can of worms with connections, including agents in Milan being liable. Seems OTT. Well, nobody knew. Well, the investigation hadn't started when Toon Army signed for it, or to the best of my knowledge, it hadn't. There was certainly no news about it. And I'm sure had there been an investigation already started, we would have known about that. So, it's a strange one. Zishan, thank you for your $4.99. We were going to talk about this. So he says, going a bit off topic, but my condolences to all Man United fans. A few broken hearts in my family. Yeah.
Just seeing Jim Radcliffe on the screen there. It's hilarious.
Well, it is rather funny, isn't it? Goldbridge.
We just lost to the Ukraine as well. Absolutely pathetic. Not good enough. You can't win the Euros and lose to the Ukraine and not a good youth team. Unacceptable.
Thank you, Alex. Listen, Goldbridge has mentioned Newcastle's takeover numerous times over the last couple of days. It is.
He's also been wrong.
Of course he's
to that
wrong.
as well. A lot of what he stated has been wrong. He's been saying all of this like the Man Uniteds and the Liverpools of this world can't compete with the clubs like Man City and Newcastle anymore financially.
Yeah,
absolute nonsense. He specifically said that Liverpool couldn't fight for the Bellingham transfer, which is absolute lies and nonsense and misinformation to the general public because they bought McAllister and who else?
Szoboszlai.
Freaking Szoboszlai, and then bid for Caicedo, the 100 mil. They put the 100 mil up after they'd already brought two midfielders in, which was roughly what the Bellingham price was.
Yeah.
Nonsense. They had the money. They were willing to spend it. They were willing to spend it on other people. Lies. They have the money. They've got the income. They've got the finances there. They've got the global reach. It's lies. It's misinformation. They've got the money. They're spending it every season. They're just doing it badly. Well, Man United are anyway. Liverpool, I think, have spent very well. They just, they got toyed with Chelsea a little bit with some of their transfers, which I think Chelsea have been involved in everyone's transfer window. Well,
yeah, they'll get involved at some point, I'm sure. Ian says, congrats for Scotland for qualifying for the Euros. Absolutely. It's very, I think I heard Steve Clarke saying today in an interview, the last tournament they got to was obviously through the playoffs, through the Nations League thing. And he kind of said through the back door, but this time they've done it, walking through the front door. And they have. You've got to give credit to Scotland. It's a tough group that we're in, with Spain and France. Nobody thought that was going to happen. Are France in top? Yeah, I'm sure they're playing France tomorrow, aren't they?
Sure.
Or is it just a friendly? I thought it was... I don't know. But anyway, they've qualified. The Purple Mag says, not sure if it's already been dismissed, but maybe Tonali was betting in the UK, but using his Italian bank account. I don't think that's the case. But listen, we can't... I'm not getting into loads of speculation about it. I think all we're talking about is what we've heard on in the media. It's Scotland against France. It's a friendly. I thought they were playing France. But obviously France aren't in their group. It's just a friendly. Did the club ever say anything about Joe Linton's drink driving? Because I'm pretty sure they didn't say anything about that either. I think they made a statement.
Because Joe Linton made a statement, apologised.
I think he sat out a game, didn't he?
Yeah. And I'm sure the club did make a statement after Joe Linton said something. So I think this is completely different. What Joe Linton done was very, very silly. You can't condone what Joe Linton did. However, what you can do is move on. And Joe Linton certainly has done that. He's accepted responsibility for what he did and knows it was wrong. Came out in a statement and said it was wrong. And hats off to him for saying that. I'm completely against drink driving. I can't stand it. But, he's done it. He's had his punishment and you get on with life. This is very, very different, though, when you're talking about... Because it's different laws, isn't it, Billy? I mean, if whatever laws, gambling laws, I mean, we've heard different online gambling laws for Italy than there is in the UK. But again, it all comes down to, if this all happened in Italy, then it shouldn't have a bearing on Newcastle United, because if that's the case, worst case scenario, and very much hypothetically speaking, what he's been accused of, if he gets banned, then surely that leaves Newcastle United open up to some sort of compensation for this.
You'd think so, absolutely. Yeah, if something's happened historically that has absolutely nothing to do with his time, and they've sold him on the back of, not on the back of it, but knowingly with this in mind, there's got to be compensation for it. Absolutely, there has been. Got to be.
Yeah.
It's a legal minefield, but I'm sure I think with the money we've got, I think we'd have the best people available to do that. And
an extreme minefield. Extreme. Italy has a big problem with non-licensed gambling sites. The authorities are coming down heavily on these, apparently. It was worth an estimated 15 billion euros in 2020, which the Italian government lost tax on.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Well, listen, I've heard a lot about certain online sites, and look, again, we'll see it. If Tonali is, we will support Tonali. Of course, we will as Newcastle United fans. He's our player. We support him. But if he has done something wrong, then he will serve his punishment. But that punishment cannot affect Newcastle United. It simply can't. Because
at the same time, the narrative shouldn't be on two young guys who have been influenced by a world full of promoting this. It should be the betting places and the government for not doing their job properly over in Italy. Yep. Same as we criticize our government from time to time about certain things. Don't put two young guys in the spotlight. Sort it out. The Italian people pay taxes so that you govern the country properly. Yeah.
Stiffgate is also saying, can we talk about the rumored 65 capacity at the ground? Yes, we're going to do that next, actually. But first, we're going to do our first members giveaway. Now, this is a members giveaway. So if you are not a member, mods, please remove any non-members who think they can sneak into this draw, because we do have a viewers draw coming up as well. This is for this, which is the Sir Bobby Robson framed photo, autograph, etc. Lovely thing for any Newcastle United fan to have on their wall. That is the first one we're giving away tonight. And basically, if you want to win that, then all you have to do is type hashtag Bobby into the comments. Hashtag Bobby, BOBBY. And we'll leave that open for a while. This is members only, this one, and then we'll do a viewers draw very, very soon. So get hashtagging. It's hashtag Bobby, and you will be in with a chance. But you have to be a member for this draw, please. So mods, can you just stay on top of that? Now, talking about the stadium capacity, I've seen a lot of AI generated images for St James's Park, gentlemen. Some of them have been
stunning.
Yeah, some of
which
them
is concerning, because I love the original ground, but obviously,
well, yes, but we know it's going to have to be revamped. As long as we don't move, I don't mind that. You know what I mean? I don't mind revamping the ground, but we want to stay where we are. I think every Newcastle fan wants to. Some of the AI generated images have been with sort of rocket ships on the bottom or above Earth. I mean, look, we like to think we're a worldy club, but I've got some of them here actually. I want to know what you guys think. This is the first one. I mean, obviously it's above Earth, but it's just the background showcase there.
No statues? No statues overlooking it, even on that one?
No, Billy, no, funny enough. I haven't seen
golden
any
statues.
I haven't seen any golden camels either, which I was disappointed about, which I probably wanted to put in there myself. But that one there, I mean, listen, that could be a revamped St James's Park. It could very well be, but that's a huge stadium if that took. I mean, what do you think of that, gents?
Looks terrific, doesn't it? Looks beautiful.
It's just a main stand wrapped all the way around, isn't it? Which is magnificent.
Yeah. I mean, what if the main stand, if that Milburn stand was all the way around the ground? I mean, what capacity are we talking about there, guys? I mean, that would be.
I mean, you'd think that'd take it beyond 65, wouldn't you? If we could do that kind of thing across.
Yeah.
It's got to be. You've got to be looking at sort of Old Trafford size there. Maybe, arguably more. Maybe.
Well, absolutely. Right. This is the next one. I think this is just the East stand that somebody did. I mean,
it's got Dortmund vibes about it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The black and white wall.
I mean, that is a big East stand. That is a huge East stand. And again, of course, we know the problems that Newcastle United have with the East stand, but Hopefully they will come to some kind of an agreement. But again, look how many people are there, Billy. I mean, that is extreme.
Yeah, and you've got to remember that right-hand corner, as we're looking at it, would be joined onto the Leazes then, wouldn't it? So
it would, yeah. Well,
so,
it would. Both of them. That one would be joined onto Gallagher, one would be joined onto the Leazes, of course. Yeah. So
that's not even in its full glory, but it looks huge, doesn't it? It looks fantastic.
I mean, it's so impressive, absolutely incredible. Next one is very similar to the one. I'm not sure what the hell the two sort of
I don't know what
giant
city
spacecraft engines are, or what city it is indeed. Because, but however, this is just obviously AI generating St James's Park in a way. It's very similar to the first one we saw.
Yeah,
Terrific, isn't it? The uniformity of the whole stadium just makes it look much better, doesn't it? Although the way it is now, it's kind of unique, isn't it? It's got a little bit of character, but simple fact is we can't get enough people in through the door to supply the demand that's there. So
exactly.
It reminds me a little bit of when they do sort of Champions League nights and the build up, they've got drones around, sort of like I'm always fascinated to see the Allianz Arena, Bayern Munich's. Back when they used to colour, I think they still do colour it and stuff like that. I think we're going to, if they do change, I mean, I think it's a beautiful stadium now anyway. I think we all do. However, if they can expand on what we've got, it will be one of those stadiums that will start to become iconic for the country, not just for the Northeast. Everywhere in the world will be like, oh, that's that iconic stadium. That's magnificent. We've got to visit there. Like, it's got potential to be that. It's so beautiful.
If I live this under the ground, now there'd be a letter going into the council for the lights keeping me up.
Or the jet engines burning your house down, Billy, might be a bigger issue. I wonder why these AI things always stick jet engines onto things. You know what I mean? You put any sort of AI generated thing on, and they always have these huge spaceship engines. It's incredible. Then there's two more. There's this one, which is a very interesting look. I'm not sure I'm not sure on this one.
It looks like somebody who lives in London's thrown their vibe on that.
Yeah, but I can't. Without seeing inside the stadium, it's very difficult to gauge that one.
I think there is. It looks like a shopping centre inside.
Well, I mean, it could be just a huge Adidas emporium inside, couldn't it? Really?
You think they'd spell Newcastle right as well, and instead of missing the L out.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like some sort of. I thought it was Russian or Ukrainian, right, when I first saw it, and I thought, no, they've just missed the L out. But somebody's obviously typed it into the AI a little bit wrong. But again, I mean, look, it's the dynamics of it all, fitting it into the place where it is now. There's an awful lot of work to make that happen. But that to me looks like a sort of just a grand museum and theatre, you know what I mean, on the outside.
I think the road's the wrong way around. It's difficult to tell, but isn't that right? Driving on the wrong side of the road as well. Well,
I don't think that matters really at the moment, Alex. I don't think.
I mean, it will do outside the stadium in reality.
Well, absolutely, but I really don't think that's. Anyway, this is the final one that I saw. I mean, literally the size of the Earth. So basically what AI is saying there is that Newcastle United can have literally everyone in the world in their ground.
I mean, you're looking at about 25 million stadium capacity there, aren't you?
Yeah, there's a lot of countries will be annoyed with that, Billy.
Yeah, you'll have Israel in the Leazes and Palestine in the Gallagher, wouldn't you?
Oh God, he's gone there. Oh Jesus Christ.
Oh, dearie me.
It was keeping them apart, it's all for peace.
Indeed. Look, again, that's really similar to 1 and 3, I think, that we've saw. But again, again, it's nice though because it's the same size all the way around.
I can't take it seriously because of the scale they've put it in.
Well, yeah, but you have to just sort of scale it down to normal football ground size, realistic. Not the size of the Earth, Alex. Obviously, we're not saying.
Do you know what annoys me about these grounds, though? The shadows they create. You see the shadow?
Oh, God,
yeah, that's true. But what I wanted to ask you, gents, and those of you that are watching, this is the one thing that we don't want to lose when they do revamp this stadium is we do not want to lose the atmosphere. I think that is vitally important. And I just hope that the owners who are getting all this sorted realize that we need to keep that atmosphere, Alex, because You've seen people go to new grounds and stuff, and the atmosphere just doesn't seem the same. You
The
still see
thing
West
is-
Ham fans about the London Stadium.
Agreed, but that's because they've changed the stadium in a certain way. Well, they moved, but I'm on about something a bit different. I feel like the ball's in our court.
Yeah,
the ball is in the court of the fans and organisations like War Flags. The owners can't really do a lot other than consider, make it, try not to do a West Ham in terms of, you're too far away from the pitch, which they won't do because it's not an Olympic stadium. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think it's the onus is more on the fans is, because I've done that. I mean, I won't go into detail, but there's always, whenever you get new people around you in the ground, it's always important to be welcoming. It's always important to, if they're a bit too shy to pick up a flag, say, go on, I just pick the flag up. It's fine. It's great. Just get involved. Get people understanding. If they don't know what the song is, if they don't know, if there's a new person who doesn't know the words to Blade and Races, we'll teach them it. Then be a community. That's the whole point, and that's we've got to do that, and we've all got to do that when we're in the ground and around the city, because we will get new sort of supporters for good or bad reasons, and we've got to make sure we're the ones that are going to have to try and carry the atmosphere. And we've kind of got to pass the torch in a way and make sure. I mean, how else could we do it? I feel like it's got to be on us, surely, to create that vibe. Because
absolutely, yeah.
And we've got to refer back to games like the PSG game. We overran them partly because of the fans, and we've got to try and make that known that the fans are a huge part of it, and try and teach it to new people coming on board. I don't think the owners can really do much about it. I think it's on us.
Okay. Alex says, do you think we should make a northern Wembley, then possibly use it for other sporting events, which will generate funds for the club?
I mean, I think you've
That
just
would
summed
be
up
down to
exactly
us,
what's happening anyway.
That'll be down to the FA anyway.
Very true. Mr. Spoon says, we'll have the flat earthers on soon looking at the stadium. Yeah, well, indeed. Very important to keep fans close to the pitch, no running tracks or too much spaced out seating. I agree with that 100%. I don't want to run it. I don't think there'd be a running track around St. James's Park. We've got Gateshead Stadium for athletics, and people that is very much steeped in history for athletics meetings and things like that at Gateshead. So I don't see that becoming a problem. I take Gallagher first. Surely that would add another 10K. Yeah, they can certainly do something with the Gallagher. Look, they'll have already had people looking, Billy, won't they? They'll have already had architects in, and because they've announced the 65,000, that's what they're looking for, and make sure you get it right, because they've said, our first objective is to get the stadium to 65,000. First objective, which means there will be more objectives to come. Yeah,
which in the end could push it up as far as 75, 80,000, and that. If I'm honest with you, I'm not even sure that caters for all the demand that there would be for a successful Newcastle United side.
Probably not.
They can do as much as they can, and of course you can only do it in small stages, because when you are doing it, it cuts down your capacity. So all this kind of row now for 52,000 tickets. When they're refurbishing the East Stand, capacity will come down quite significantly for a couple of years. So you have to kind of take that into account too.
Indeed. Or do they move to somewhere else to play the games? Which again, they're not going to have the same capacity though.
No, I would have thought
Ian A, thank you very much for your $4.99 super chat. He says, as well as architects, we need someone who understands acoustics involved. The sound could be even more amazing. I think if it's a kind of ball effect like we've seen on some of them AI images, I think, fans close to the pitch, and I think that they can make the acoustics brilliant in the ground, undoubtedly. Right, we've got 2 more minutes left on the competition, guys. If you're a member of the channel, hashtag Bobby in the chat. And that will enter you into the first draw, and then we will set the viewers draw away as well. So hashtag Bobby if you are a member of the channel, and we will do that draw very shortly.
I do have one thing to point out, by the way, before we move on. Somebody queried, somebody challenged me on what I just said about Liverpool and being able to afford Bellingham, pointed out their wages. I'm not buying that. They got offered somewhere between 150 to 200 million for Salah, who is on £350,000 a week. So, no, don't agree.
Yep. Look, quite frankly, Liverpool could have afforded Bellingham. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you look at the money they've spent over the summer. If they wanted to get Bellingham, Bellingham, I think it's because Bellingham didn't want to go. Liverpool don't want to admit that. You know, where would you like to go? Would you like to go to Liverpool or would you like to go to Madrid? You know,
apparently he's a
and be
Liverpool
star.
supporter. Apparently he is a Liverpool supporter though. So
Yeah,
when he does
there's
come
a
back to
lot
the
of
Premier League, potentially.
Well, we'll see,
But
won't we? I mean,
it's
with
Todd's
Real
moment in
Madrid,
time.
the best club in the world.
Exactly. So
and
at this
he's
moment in
actually doing the job at Real Madrid. In fact, he's absolutely
More than-
magnificent for
he's killing it, isn't he?
He's absolutely killing it. Yeah. Incidentally, watched a bit of the Beckham thing on Netflix. I think I've watched the first 3 episodes. Really good. And do you know what he went through in that World Cup '98? It sort of takes a deep dive into
Which is why I don't value anything Harry Maguire is currently saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, if you haven't watched the documentary, go and watch it, because what he went through behind the scenes is absolutely unbelievable. And that's why, you know, I've still got a lot of respect. I really like David Beckham. I liked him when he played, to be honest. I thought he was a quality footballer. And, you know, I've never, ever had a problem with Beckham. Even when he got sent off, you know, you see sendings off these days. Did the players get that kind of hounding? Absolutely not. It's because who he was and who he was with. That's what he got that bollocks for. And, you know, and Glenn Hoddle, you know, sold him down the river. When you look back at Hoddle's interviews after the game, basically blaming Beckham. And, you know,
he was right to. I think he was right to. He cost us a World Cup, in my opinion.
He
I think we'd have beat Argentina. Would have beat
what
Argentina
cost
with
us
11
in
men
the
on the
World Cup
pitch.
was the fact we missed the penalties. We could have got through
Well,
that game. Nobody would have given Beckham the shit we got.
He wouldn't have got to penalties.
We can still, both can be true at the same time. We can blame him for the game without, you know.
Yeah, the way they went after him, you know,
effigies,
effigies,
that was
burning effigies and stuff like that was ridiculous.
That was horrible.
Hanging things outside of pubs, exactly. You know, he did a stupid thing. He owned up to that and realised. But the fact that it still haunts him to this day is something that is quite staggering, really, because, you know.
Well, look what Zidane did. Like,
yeah,
that didn't happen to Zidane.
No,
that was considerably worse.
Exactly.
When you think that already won a World Cup, hadn't he? He had his kind of credit in the bank, but Beckham,
yeah.
Hoddle actually said before he picked, because he wasn't getting picked for the beginning of that World Cup, and Hoddle said, "Well, we were about his discipline." Played in the Colombia game, scored. Next game, Argentina. Hoddle was proved right.
Yeah, but even when you see that again, and you see how much Simeone made of that little kick out, it was, and even Simeone admitted that he shouldn't have been sent off.
It was naive. He was naive.
Yeah, he was still very young, wasn't he? But I think, but looking back, it must have been horrendous for him, and all the players that were interviewed in that documentary just said how horrible it was for them to see it, you know, and how it was just affecting him. But that's some football fans. I mean, could you call them football fans? I don't know. Anyway, let's do the first draw. Let me just get my screen correct here. Can we see that on screen now, gents?
Yes, we can.
We can.
Okay, we got 59 entries into the draw. So here we go. This is for the first Sir Bobby framed photo autograph. And the winner is Barbara.
Wow.
Barbara, you have won. Well done. You have won the first Sir Bobby Robson framed photo. Fantastic, Barbara. Well done. I won't comment on the fact that it's going to cost me an overseas postage, but what the hell? You have won. So well done, Barbara. You are the winner of that. So well done. That one will go to the side. So, Barbara, if you can email me your address, please. It is down in the description. Just says business inquiries and an email address. So if you can send me your address, Barbara, I will get that sent off to you. Now, we have another competition, of course, for the same thing, except this is open to everyone. So everyone in again. And once again, it is hashtag, when I spell it right, hashtag booby. It isn't that. It's hashtag Bobby. So once again, get putting hashtag Bobby in, guys. And anyone is in for this one. Anyone can win. Anyone watching tonight, just put hashtag Sir Bobby in the chat. Yes, Barbara, that's you. You've won So send me your address. But everybody now can enter this one, and it is #Bobby. Right, Alex, is there any players that we've been linked with?
Some, yes, potentially.
What would you like to tell us who they are?
In a second, yes. I will have to bring some pages up.
While Alex is doing that, guys, we've got over 900 watching tonight. So once again, thank you very, very much for your support. But we've only got 251 likes. Please just take 1 second just to hit the thumbs up button, guys. Let's see that fly up now while we're on. Just take 2 seconds out of watching the stream just to hit the thumbs up button, because it's vitally important to this channel that we keep those coming. No, I said over 900, James, not 9,000. If we had 9,000 on, I'd be sort of, helicoptering. So can you please put the likes in, let them shoot up. Yeah, they're up to 321. Look at them rocket up now. Keep hitting the thumbs up button, guys. Thank you very, very much. Are we there yet, Alex?
Yeah, I'm just bringing them up now. So
okay.
So the one that obviously I think it was you mentioned on the one of your pre-recorded lives, the Wesley kid from Corinthians, who I'm yet to actually watch in person. However, if we want to do a little quick overview of him, let's just screen share him in here. I'm hearing
since I did that video, regarding him, I'm hearing very, very different, a lot of different people saying different things about him.
Oh, really? I've not had a chance to do much research. I've been busy, so I will go and have a look. We've been linked with a couple of Brazilians. Obviously, I'll go and do my stuff. So we'll only be able to talk briefly about him because we don't know. But we can have a look at the raw data together. This will be fun, exciting. So an 18-year-old, possibly you know more about this kid than I do, Paul. But so an 18-year-old. Do you want to have a pop at the name?
It is Wesley Gasova Ribeiro Texera.
Very nice. So Corinthians. He's very, very young. So I feel like I think Billy can agree with me on this one because we've done a lot of Brazilian scouting in the past and transfer shows. I can't be asked getting my hopes up for another Brazilian wonder kid because you do so much.
Well, not many people know how much money I've spent on sending you and Billy out to scout in Brazil. Well, I mean, it's getting honestly, extortionate now.
When I was still in Poland, I must have stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning 3 or 4 times to watch some of these Brazilian games. And even some of the youth international games to watch some of these people, just so I knew what I was talking about to a point. And then they all went to Chelsea or Man City. It was very frustrating. So I'm not going to get too emotionally invested in this one. We shall dabble. But so 600 minutes in the Brazilian league so far this season. Obviously, they play a wonky league. I can't remember what kind of schedule it is right now because it was amended last season due to the World Cup. So this year is it March, December again? I'd have to double check that. It is a bit funny. So they might be coming to the end of their season quite soon. I can't remember. I'll have to double check.
It's a funny. Their season is very strange. As is
it might have changed back around purely because now we're not a World Cup year. So Libertadores and Sudamericana as well. Appearances in different competitions. So let's go down and actually have a look at the important bit, the bit that we like to see, and it is quite amusing. So I did have a look at this briefly with the guys when we finished the show the other night. His progression, his ball progression and take-ons is just absolutely ridiculous. I understand he's playing in the Brazilian league. However, so it's just
I think it said he'd made 30 appearances for Corinthians.
Yeah, well, this is based on 650 minutes. And I mean, Foxy's just put exactly what I was about to say in the chat.
Yeah.
This is a kid who I understand a lot of people were very angry with Maxi, and I can't see us going for anybody like this who's not very refined yet. I feel like we are looking at explosive, dribbly, talented players. However, with the way we play and obviously some of the way fan base, we need people who have got better decision making, who can play a system and understand their role in the team in multiple areas. So this guy at the moment is, I can dribble and I will beat everyone I dribble at, essentially.
Alex, just 2 seconds, mate, because Barbara's just asking where she puts her name and address. It's in the email address, Barbara. If you look down in the description, just scroll all the way down, you'll see business inquiries. No. And email me at pd.toonreview@gmail.com. That's pd.toonreview@gmail.com. And put in the subject Bobby Robson photo and then your address. Not in the subject, actual email. Put your address in there and I'll get it sent out to you. So pd.toonreview@gmail.com. Sorry, Alex.
It's all right. So, yeah, defensive statistics are also okay. So he's got some defensive output. You know, we've seen a lot of players who are good at dribbling but don't put up any numbers in that regard. Again, he's 18. It's less than 700 minutes data. Take it all with a pinch of salt, but I think this shows that he is a very, very, very good dribbler. So we'll have to do some more digging on him. If we scroll down and have a look, is there anybody we recognise from other leagues? Oh, yeah, there was Jack Clark. What is he to date? To date, he's got 2 starts in the league last year as a 16-year-old and 16 starts as a 17-year-old plus 18. So, yeah, I mean, he's doing very well to be getting so many minutes in the first team, you know, in the top league in Brazil for Corinthians, big side. However, it is still very early days. And I'm not sure what we've got to type in to get any sofa score data for him. Oh, I've actually already searched for him. Brilliant. Haha, we go the funny route. We go through Corinthians. It's cheating, right? Where is he? Where does he play? Wesley, where are you? There he is. So, midfielder, 18-year-olds. That is what he looks like.
A very young Denzel Washington, actually, I think he looks like.
Yeah, a little bit. It's funny, we've just sold a left winger. We obviously brought in we're looking at seemingly any winger we ever look at just plays on the left. I don't think right wings exist. I don't know. I think some notes out of Dan Ashworth's book just fell out and he's just never replaced them because we just don't seem to look at right wingers. We just only look at left wingers. I mean, I like that. Isn't that Sean Longstaff's number?
It is.
It is. So not valued super highly at the moment, but I would ignore that. This is a player that could probably go for lots of money if clubs start sniffing.
Well, I just need to explain to everybody viewing that his release clause is £100 million.
Yeah, well, that absolutely poo-poos the 2 million valuation. Exactly. So should we have a look at a league game, shall we? I hate this view. All right. Let's go up to. So we want Corinthians is this team. It's not this team. No. Which one are Corinthians? What do they play in?
He must come on as sub.
Oh no, there he is.
There he is, Wesley, number 36.
So what do we have? 58 minutes played. So he tried a few passes, but he was trying to get involved a bit more in the physicality. So you can see he completed all 3 of the dribbles he tried. Again, we saw that in the FBref data that when he runs at you, he will beat you. 6 out of 7 ground duels. I like that. I mean, again, we're only looking at 1 game. However, for an 18-year-old, again, to be winning most of his duels against men in a top league, it's really, really good. It's nice. Again, they weren't playing against scrubs either. I mean, you got Everton Ribeiro, who makes the Brazil team. You know, who are they even playing against? I can't remember the team. Oh, it's Flamengo. So absolutely no scrubs. Flamengo obviously amazing. And I'm pretty sure is that the Pedro? Is that another Pedro? No,
there's
ignore me.
Pedro's kicking around.
Tangents. Yeah, but so the thing that stands out to me is obviously physicality, dribbles. A lot of it will come.
There is another Wesley who plays for them, Alex, if you notice it right back.
Well, not anymore. We've gone off it now.
Well, it was França. So
another França. Yeah. So there he is again on the left side in a 4-2-3-1. Again, he got a decent rating. He got a better rating than most of the other attackers, to be fair. So you can see what he does. That is what he's about. That is where he's comfortable in and around that sort of left side of the box. What a surprise we have got. There we go. 3 out of 5 dribbles and 7 out of 10 ground duels. So you can see what he's about. And he was fouled 3 times as well. So he won 3 free kicks for his team. So I will run at you with the ball and do lots for the team. That's basically it. I feel like he's got a lot to learn. I don't think it's appropriate to bring him to Europe yet. I think he could do with staying in Brazil for another 2 years. Yeah, maybe a year, maybe 2. Very, very raw player. However, I mean, you can see what he's about. You can see it's just very early days. You
know, so I've just seen somebody mention in the chat there that maybe we're not looking at the right-hand side because obviously we've got Minte to come back, who is smashing it over in Holland at the minute. Billy, what do you think of him?
just an archetypal young Brazilian talent, isn't he? I mean, we've done, like Alex has said, dozens of these players, it seems like, over the past 2 years. So, yeah, another one on the list that Chelsea are probably watching this show and are going to go out and buy in January. I'm all for attacking players at Newcastle United. I'm all for attacking skillful players, and if we can get another one through the door, all the good for it. But again, a lot of money for an 18-year-old who seems to be very naive, as 18-year-olds generally are. Interesting.
Right, we'll do the draw now for the viewers. We've got looks like a hell of a lot of people in here. 198 people have entered this. So here we go. The draw for the Sir Bobby Robson framed photo for our viewers. Ash Irie. Ash, you have won. Let me know in the chat that you know that you've won. And same as Barbara, go to the email address, send me an email, put in the subject Sir Bobby photo, and then put your address for me to send it to. Just waiting for Ash to confirm. Otherwise, we will have to redraw it. So we'll give Ash a couple of seconds. I knew Barbara was in because I'd seen her, but I haven't seen Ash. So obviously Ash did enter it, but I haven't seen her since. So are you there, Ash? Come on, let us know that you have won. Everyone's saying congratulations to Ash, but no actual Ash yet. Still coming through, but nothing from Ash saying that she knows that she is. I mean, is a man called Ash? Nice try, Stephen. It's not you.
Yeah, Ashley's a man's name as well as a woman's name, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we still haven't had Ash come into the chat, guys. How long do we give it?
Well, while we're waiting, I'll just say this bit then.
Okay.
I tell you what I am thinking about. I mean, I've mentioned this to you guys before, but I might as well mention it to you guys watching as well. When I do research and watch sort of stuff away from shows for transfer show research and things like that, I am tempted to put it in the Discord. So when I do my little transfer show research, we can do it to people in Discord. If an exclusive for you want to come and help me with some scouting research, they're more than welcome when I set that up. Probably something we'll maybe organise closer to January. So for people who haven't joined the Discord, there will be a link, I'm hoping, in the description somewhere.
Okay. There is a link to the Discord. I'm not sure whether it works anymore because it keeps bloody changing. Ash, you've got 30 seconds. Or we draw again. You what?
If he's not here, we won't hear you.
Well, that's very true. It seems like we're going to have to draw again by the looks of things. See, this is like when the radios ring the winners and they don't pick the phone up. That's the rules. 90,000
thing on the radio.
Yeah, this is the rules. Unfortunately, we have to, just so I know that the winners know they've won, and it's 10 seconds.
Wrap it in on. I hope that's not true.
Yeah, I really hope it's not. Wow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, Ash, I'm sorry. You did win, but you haven't won anymore. It has been revoked. I'm sorry. See, that's why you need to keep watching. Right, we draw again. Here we go. And the winner is Paul Maitland. Paul Maitland, are you in the chat? Please, God, say you're there. Otherwise, we could be on with this all night. We've still got another draw to do. Paul Maitland, let me know in the comments that you know you've won. Honestly, it's come on, Paul. Where are you? Stiff Gator says, congrats, Paul, if you are alive. Yeah. Still nothing. There he is. Brilliant. I am here. Well done, Paul. Email right down in the description. Please just put in the subject, Bobby Robson photo, and then the email itself, put your address, and I will get that off to you very, very quickly. And finally, we have another members draw. Now, listen to what I'm saying. A members draw. Behave yourselves, everybody. And if you want to win this, I'll show you in just a second. This is obviously for our wonderful members. Right. I want to win this one, guys. That is also framed, ready to be put on the wall. Hashtag Big Al. Hashtag Big Al. That will, God, if anyone's just tuning in, they'll wonder what the hell I'm talking about. Hashtag Big Al. All our members, only members. Thank you very much. Only members. Nice try, Clarky. You're not a member at the minute, matey. Hashtag Big Al. Members only. We'll leave that for a few minutes because we've hit the hour mark. So I'm very aware that my stomach is rumbling like an earthquake right now. So
back to the Jim Ratcliffe stuff at Manchester United. It's very interesting. Obviously, I don't think that Glaze ever wanted to sell. They wanted investment. Just a word on Ratcliffe's kind of previous record in sport. He bought the Sky cycling team, who were perennial Tour de France winners, Classics winners, Grand Tour winners. And since he's been there, they've gone down the pan. Since he bought them, they've gone properly down the pan. And they're no longer a top-rated team, really. They're getting beat by lots of teams in all the Grand Tours. So, not really great, is it?
No, not at all.
And
by the way, have you noticed what's just cropped up there? It actually tells us now on StreamYard that Keith has gifted a five memberships.
Yeah,
and those memberships have gone to Niall Powell, Antacid, John Sinclair, not the John Sinclair, the other John Sinclair that follows us. And would you believe it, Clarky, who I've just said doesn't have a membership, now has a membership, gifted by Keith. That's bloody incredible. And Scotty as well. So you have all benefited from Keith gifting 5 Toon Review memberships for a month. Thank you so much, Keith. Honestly, so many memberships that you've gifted. The gifts, it's for a month's membership. And then obviously, if you want to continue after that, you can. And Clarky's just told me to stick it. Well, I hope you don't win, Clarky, to be honest, after that. Right, we'll leave it open for another minute because most of the members go in straight away for the draw. Is there anything else you'd like to bring up, gentlemen, before we leave tonight?
There are 1 or 2 links with some players I saw over the weekend that were quite interesting, and one in particular that I shall talk to Stato about after the show, but you may have seen.
Yeah, we will do a dedicated,
we'll do a dedicated
transfer show again. Yeah,
gives me a chance to research properly as well. I mean, there is one thing I wouldn't mind giving a little ha-ha about, which I'm sure you might be able to predict based on that.
Absolutely.
Manchester United. Comments today about, oh, well, we're just going to have to accept our place amongst the Aston Villas and Brightons of the league. Oh, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. You're supposed to be able to support your football club through thick and thin. You know, fans of this club have been to Scunthorpe away and stuff in recent years. We've been in the Championship twice. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of football fans who go and attend, you know, league games up and down the country at any level of the English pyramid, whether it's non-league or you know, in the top 4 divisions. It's just pathetic at this point. You know, you're just showing yourself up as just not proper football fans. If you're a part-time fan, if you don't really care, then just bugger off and stop whinging about everything. You know, Manchester United is still a big historical club, whether you mock it or don't mock it as part-time fans. And I actually I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually feel sorry for the real Manchester United fans, because obviously there's probably not many of them. There might maybe 10-20% of their core fan base, but I would say most of them are just, oh yeah, me nan's dog's friend's best man's dad was a Man United fan, therefore I am. That's what most of them are up and down the country, isn't it? They don't really have a link to it necessarily. And I know I'm hypocritical here, not obviously from the Northeast, but you know, it's just one of those. It doesn't matter where your club is; you still support your club.
Absolutely. Right, guys, we're on 434 likes for this show as well. Let's see if we can get up to 500 before we end the show. Let's get to 500. Come on, please just take 2 seconds out, hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. See if we can get up to 500 by the end of the show. Just if you're taking time to comment, you can take time just to hit that like button, guys. It's really important to the channel, and you'll be helping us a lot. Right, let's do the draw.
Sweden are one up in Belgium, by the way, which is an amazing score, really. Victor Gyökeres has scored for them as well.
Wow, is that the Coventry player, Billy?
He doesn't know. He's in
Sporting Lisbon now.
Oh, right, he moved. Yeah, okay. Right, here we go. It's on the screen now, and here is the draw. More entries for this one, actually, but there's a couple who I know for a fact aren't members. Here we go, and the winner is Alex, not the Alex, the other Alex. Alex, if you're there, can you please let us know that you've won? Just let us know. We'll just wait for your comment. Alex, you have won. And then I know Alex is it makes a good contribution to the chat on a regular basis, does Alex? There he is. I'm here. I think that's the quickest response we've ever had to somebody winning, Alex. So thank you very much. Email me, put in the subject Alan Shearer photo, and obviously your address.
Bobby Robson.
What, it's not. It's
Alan Shearer. Sorry, that's my fault. I'm miles away.
Yes.
Ignore me.
It's all right, don't worry. If you can put Alan Shearer in the subject and then your address in the actual email, and I will get that sent off to you, Alex. Thank you so much, and thank you everybody for entering tonight. Right, that is it for tonight. Tomorrow night we have the England watch along against Italy. That should be a really good game, actually. Really looking forward to that one for once. But let's see what Southgate's team is first. And then we'll go from there. But we will be live from 7:30 tomorrow night with full commentary of the game. And do join us for that. Even if you're watching on the TV, please do join us. And we'll all watch it together, commentate on it, and have you say on England. But thank you very much to everyone for tonight, for memberships, for super chats. Mod Squad, you've been awesome again. Thank you to Billy and Alex, and thank you again to you guys out there, because without you guys, we'd be nothing. Hopefully, we will get over 500 likes. We're 20 away, so we will hopefully hit that very soon. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you all tomorrow night for the watch along. Keep your eyes open for any daily news if any more news breaks, and I'll bring that to you in a pre-record. But until then, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Howay the Lads and Lasses.
Come back and check on some green.